Logan here. Welcome to another nightly watch list. Today's Tuesday, the 15th. I'm excited to get talking because we had Apple and Tesla perform for us and SPY. Like I said, was going to happen yesterday. I was kind of talking about it. And Apple traded, sideways through the event, but we'll get into all that later. I just want to thank you guys for joining the Discord. We also got the premium Discord as well. So make sure you join up in those. And there's a lot to talk about. I mean, we have over 800 members in the Discord, so make sure you go check that out. I want to talk about Powell's event first. So it looks like they have the event today starting at 4:15 p.m. And then we also have it tomorrow where he's actually going to come out and speak. And that can create, a lot of uncertainty, bearishness. I think a lot of the old money gets pulled out when we get Powell speaking. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to, mess with the market. We still have Power Hour today to sit through. So I'm recording this right now at 3. So he's also looking, talking about inflation targets since we have a 0% interest rate or close to, it's 0 to 0.25. So he's looking for like 2023, just kind of more macroeconomics right now from what it seems like. So that's why I have my eye on DPST and the bank stocks because it's honestly weird to me. Every day that Powell speaks, the bank stocks are bullish and the tech ones get bearish. Every time, the last 3 times I've watched him speak, that's kind of what we've seen. And there were, for exceptions, like when SPY dropped 6 points in mid-August when he came out and talked. I think that was on the 14th. So we got DPST and the bank stocks I'll be watching, like JP Morgan. Just because when Powell talks, I think a lot of people move their money there. We'll also be looking at TLT, which is the bonds. So we'll see how the bonds move. And then you could also see some money going into gold and silver. But it just depends. There's a lot of people who, even just hearing his name, he's like a bad news bear, right? So we'll see how that affects us. Apple today, great day for Apple. We bought it yesterday at 113, and then I'm still holding, but a lot of people sold. A lot of people sold today before the event, some during, and then some are still holding now. But it did, trade really sideways through the event, and then it kind of dropped about $1.50 a share right after the event. I don't know what really was happening there. People were just like, hey, we got Powell talking, so I'm going to sell my tech stocks. I really think that's a lot of the decisions that we're seeing today. Tesla hit 455. I think they're 459 right now as I'm talking, and they just blew past my target price of 435. So that's really crazy to see. So look for more continuation as we close in on battery day. But of course with Powell, stuff, like I said, can get shaky. So that's why these are just my opinions on what to watch. We have Fdex earnings today after hours. So look for a response in the morning depending on what they do. I think Fdex is going to crush their earnings, but most companies have and still have gone down in value. So be prepared for that. For Fdex, Snowflake, the IPO, I touched on a bit yesterday. It's backed by Warren Buffett, so I'm going to keep my eye on that. Some people are probably going to grab shares right when it's available to the public. I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow, so Wednesday, I think we can start trading it. So I don't know. I'll have to double check the exact time and everything, but it's backed by Buffett, so I think we're going to get a lot of old money and new money going into it, like I touched on a little bit yesterday. And I also have Home Depot. They're just going sideways today, but have really gapped up. They're up about $20 a share from last Monday. So that would have been a great play. That's something I wish I would have entered last week when I was messing with other stocks. So Home Depot is another one that I'm watching for tomorrow just because Home Builders has been strong and consistent. And with it trading sideways after gapping up so much, I think we could see Home Builders, like that sector, just go up a little bit more too. Of course, all of this depends on Powell and the overall market conditions, but I really think with the home builders being strong and, other stocks like Cat and John Deere, kind of in that construction, home buildy, I know John Deere does tractors, but like Caterpillar where it's all just like industrials, right? So it's all kind of clumped together in my head. And then I just want to give you guys your little kind of quote of the day. Focus on making a goal going into every trade. I was up 50% on my SPY swing yesterday and realized I should be taking profits. So that's what I end up doing. I did take profits around 50%. Because instead of, don't get caught up in the dollar amount as much as the percent. The percent amount will teach you proper risk management. Don't celebrate your profit until it's in your account officially. So yeah, that's the other thing too, right? You don't want to celebrate something too early when you're managing risk too, because I've known a lot of people who were like, I was up 800 and then I had to sell it for 300. And I was like, well, yeah, you were up 8, but your real profit was 300. But at the end of the day, this is money that you never had before going into the trade when you're profiting. So any profit is essentially just like free money, but not even just free money. It wasn't yours to begin with, so you can't get upset when something falls, right? So that's what I would say, is just focus on the percent, because 50% is a crazy return, right? If I went into that play with $10,000, I'd be up $5,000. But, when I play it small, and I played this trade with under $500. So yeah, that was kind of my little portion. So let's get into Think or Swim. So here's Apple. Apple, since the event, has really just sold off the whole time. Of course, we have Powell talking. So that's why I want to touch on this one briefly. It's sitting at about 114.73. So with Powell coming on at 415, this is something to be wary of. We made the entry yesterday, like I said, at 113, and it got up here when we were choosing to sell our positions. I'm still holding my Apple. I have 2 contracts that are for October 2nd. That's the only play I have going besides Intel right now. I have INTC, so that's another one to watch for, which I can pull up the chart there. I'm playing this one really long term. That's for October 16th. So I can handle a lot of the volatility. I can handle a lot of this volatility with Apple. Of course, I have a stop loss going on it, so I'll be really careful for any of my entries that I make, or if Apple really starts to dip. And that's what's cool about playing stocks, is if you are able to manage your risk, you can do really well, and not every day is going to be a sunny day. We've already talked about that a lot. So let's hop into Tesla so we can take a look at this live trade. I mean, who knows where it is now? Okay, so it's at 459. Wow, it is really even gapped up in the last, hour or two, which is just really crazy to see. Dipped all the way down here. It has just been absolutely ripping to the sky. Just green candle after green candle after green candle. Tesla is just a different breed. This stock just moves like nothing else. So that's another one to continue to keep your eyes on. Like I said, my price was $435, and it absolutely blew that out of the water. Right here where it had some red candles going, it just absolutely blew that out of the water. So it's in a good position. A lot of people think that it can break out to 500 by Friday, so we'll keep a very close eye on it as it hovers right now at like 457. But it just started power hour, so I'm excited to see what we get. Let's hop over to INTC just to take a look at it really quickly. But INTC had a lot of traction last week, and then after their little announcement event thing that they had going, here we go. So now they're chilling at 50.21, but they did gap up pretty well over the last day or so, back up to 50, 50. So 50.21 right now. So it's looking pretty cool. So I want to bring that one up. And then the last thing we'll check out is we'll look at the bank stocks. So I'll look at JP Morgan so we can kind of get a feel. Okay, so that did sell off pretty hard today. Wow. That was a huge sell-off in the last couple of hours, because I honestly haven't looked at the chart since yesterday. So that sold off pretty crazily. Let's see what DPST is doing, if we can see where that stock is, because that's at 52.97. So we got a couple candles, and now it's just kind of going sideways. So I'm going to watch the banks throughout this whole Powell announcement week. But that's going to be pretty much it for me today. That's kind of what we're looking at. Like I said right here, Fdex has their earnings, so let's pay attention to that. But I just really want you guys to focus on making a goal for every trade that you go into. For real. That will help you so much, especially when you manage risk. I promise you, taking a $100 loss or $200 or $300 is not as bad as taking an $800 or $900 just because you held on. You can always reposition yourself. Don't get too stressed out. You guys have other days. The market's going to be open forever pretty much. So you always have days to make anything you lost back. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. I really want to thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to join the Discord, leave a like, leave a sub. It really means a lot to me. And this has been my second nightly watch list. I hope this helps you out, or I hope this helps you guys a ton. This is what I'm seeing. These are the reasons why I'm watching these stocks the most. So I hope you guys have a great night, and I will see you in the next one, and I'll see you tomorrow in the Discord.